Well, hello everybody, this is a short little video on conducting a string change on a 5-string banjo for the good people at Elixir Strings, who are running a little series of videos on hints and tips for various strung instruments on how to do this sort of thing. I'm going to change one string today, make the video nice and short. Now then, for those of us that are not long on to the 5-string banjo, it does vary in the fact that it's almost the same as changing a guitar string, but some things are different. The bridge here on our banjo is what's known as a floating bridge. Unlike most guitar bridges that are attached to the top of the guitar, this will fall out if we loosen all the strings off together. Also, the tailpiece at the back here is semi-floating in as far as it comes over the top of the head. It's not actually attached to the head. It has one bolt at the back that holds it on. So if we loosen all of these strings off together, all of these tensions will be lost and things may move. So to avoid us wondering where this bridge goes when we want to put it back on, simply get a pen or a pencil and mark a little line on the head in front of the two outside feet of the bridge. This will mean that the bridge will always go back to where you've marked it. And to make sure that you have the bridge facing the right way up towards the banjo neck all the time, I simply write a little cross on the top right hand inward facing section of the bridge. So now we know where it sits on the head, and we know which one or which part goes to the top nearest our chin. Having said that, I don't recommend that unless you need to change all 5 strings in one hit for maintenance that's very heavy. I would change them more than one at a time. If I need to clean the banjo head when I'm changing the strings, it means that all 5 strings have become sacrificial and no longer any good. So if you need to put some lem oil or some stuff on your neck, just leave the strings on and squirt your lem oil on, and then just see to your neck as normal, because all of these strings are going to come off. Basically, that's the one thing that you should bear in mind, is to try and change them one at a time. Having said all of that, it also means that your bridge doesn't ever move out of position, because the tension from the strings you haven't changed yet will keep it in place while you get about doing the one that you're actually working on at this particular time. And I'm going to change the 4th string today on this banjo. So the first thing I will do is I'll just loosen it off, which is pretty straightforward, just by turning the peg down until I've got quite a bit of movement, look, on there. Now, I tend to snap the string in half using a set of side cutters for 2 reasons. Round about here, this is personal preference, you might not want to do this. If I just snip the string there, it means that I can deal with the tailpiece end, which is quite tricky to unhook it and get it off the back hook. Sometimes they get very tight and stuck in there, without needing to worry about the full length of the string. And I just simply then fold it, wrap it around my 2 fingers and put it together so that it doesn't come undone. Having done that, I'll then do the same with the tuning. There you are there. Just put that safely somewhere. Then I drop the banjo down to the floor, rest it on my knee, and I just unwind the top of the other half of the string and remove it. It can be tricky to deal with the full length of a string, especially if it does tend to get caught in the tuning peg capstan or down at the tailpiece end. So we put those safely out of the way. The next thing I do while I have the banjo in this position, personally speaking, is I turn the capstan until the hole in the capstan is facing straight upwards towards this part of the peg head. The reason I do that is because when I fix the new string, I don't need to hunt for that hole. Then, getting my set of strings out, I take the new string out, the packet. I keep this packet because the old string will go in there, and I remove it. Okie dokie, and we unwind it and let it spring apart. Now then, unlike guitar strings, a banjo string has got a little loop on the end of it, and that's because the tailpiece on your banjo has got little claws, and the loop attaches to the claw and pulls up that way. So I'm going to work with this end of the string only to start with. I'm going to put it into the tailpiece slot that it belongs in, the 4th string in this case, and I'm going to put the loop through the claw, bring it over the top, and then put it in its position, as I say, on the tailpiece. just proving to be a bit tricky, like so. It will leave a little loop, a little sort of a bridge, because it's not under full tension, and just try and pull up what you can. And then I locate the slot in the bridge and I put it in there. At this point already I do that. Then with this hand I grab the banjo and I take it down again. Now you can see I can quite happily work with this string. Everything at that end's already in place and I'm holding it here. Most people in the guitar world will put this straight through the capstan hole now. I tend not to do that. I tend to locate it in the slot in the nuts and then wrap it round my capstan 3 times, rather like they would do with a rope on a ship's capstan. 3 times I find this suffice, and then I pull those coils down on the capstan with my nail, and now I've already got my hole in place and I know that it slots straight upwards. I can in fact get that to go through there and out the other end like so, and then I pull it up nice and tight. The string is now on and I start to tighten it. Now I can let go of this and I can use my finger here to gauge the tension. We're not worried about tuning yet, but there's the string on. So now that the string is on, I can pull the slack back just by pretending I've got a little bow and arrow in my hand, and I just pull it back like that. You can see that? Okie dokie. And until all the tension is now firmly around these coils and it's firmly on the tailpiece, the string's lying in the slot and in the nut, and I'm ready to rock and roll with the tuning. And there's that string on. Having done that, you carry on through all 5 of them, and when you've done that, you get your side cutters once again. Now don't hack straight into the capstan to get rid of your excess string. I put the side cutters on a good way away from it and I glide it down. That way I know that I've got this and not what's coming up over the peg head trapped in my side cutters. So once again I just slide it down and I release it like that. That will have altered the tuning again, and you can use your tuner, which I have here, or your ear, which is even better once you've got it developed, and you can alter it. And that's simply how we change the string on a 5-string banjo. Thanks to everybody for watching, and on behalf of Elixir Strings, thanks for a great product.